Ever notice how something simple, like reaching for that top shelf, can feel way harder than it should?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Or how about like that nagging lower back pain that just kind of appears out of nowhere?
Oh, I know that feeling.
Well, get this. A lot of those everyday struggles, those little aches and pains, could all be tied to one thing:
Let me guess.
core strength.
Yeah.
Or, well, the lack of it. But we're not talking about those six-pack abs you see in
Uh-huh.
magazines.
Right.
Today, we're diving deep into the kind of core strength that impacts your every move, even if you don't realize it.
I like it. Deep dive into core strength. Most people, I swear, they don't even realize.
Don't they? What do you mean?
Their core is involved in practically everything they do. Everything. Bending over, standing tall, even just sitting at your desk all day.
Oh, that's true.
It all comes back to the core.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's picturing like a perfectly sculpted six-pack right now, what are we really talking about when we say core?
Good question. Think of it less like a single muscle and more like your internal support system, okay?
Internal support system. I like that.
It's a whole network of muscles working together.
Okay, so like what muscles are we talking about here?
Well, you've got the diaphragm, right? Super important for breathing, obviously.
Right.
But did you know it also plays a huge role in stabilizing your spine?
No way. I never really made that connection.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how the body works. Then, of course, there are those obliques, those side muscles that help you twist and turn. And then, of course, we can't forget the rectus abdominis, the one responsible for those six-pack abs we were talking about earlier.
The classic.
Exactly. But here's the thing. A strong core is about way more than just aesthetics.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to tell us all about it.
It really is about building a solid foundation for your body, much like you need a solid foundation to build a house.
Okay, I'm following you.
Because a strong core, it helps prevent injuries, especially lower back pain, which, let's be honest, is a huge problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it helps you efficiently transfer force between your upper and lower body.
So that's important for
Everything. Think about lifting those heavy grocery bags or swinging a golf club, even just getting up off the couch.
It's all connected.
Exactly.
It's funny when I picture like a really good athlete, someone with amazing control and power, I never really thought about their core.
Oh, but it's there. A strong core is like their secret weapon, whether they realize it or not.
So it really is the foundation for everything.
Absolutely. And what's even cooler? It's not just about athletic performance either.
Right.
Those everyday movements we take for granted, bending, twisting, even just standing up straight, all of those things become easier and less painful when you have a strong core.
Okay, this is making me rethink my whole approach to fitness.
Yeah.
So how do we start training our core in a way that actually makes a difference in those real-life situations?
Ah, the million-dollar question. You've got to make those muscles work for you, and that's where functional core exercises come in.
Functional core exercises. So we're not just talking about endless crunches.
You got it. We've got to move beyond the crunches.
All right, so what are we talking about then?
Functional core exercises, they're all about training your core to work the way you actually move in real life. Instead of just isolating one muscle group like you do with a crunch, these exercises engage multiple muscle groups at the same time.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. We're talking about those multiplanar movements.
Multiplanar, so moving your body in all sorts of different directions and angles.
That's it, just like you do every single day.
So instead of just going up and down like a traditional crunch.
Right, up and down, yeah.
We're mixing it up, getting our bodies moving in all different directions.
Exactly. Think about how you move in real life, right?
Okay.
You're rarely just moving in one plane of motion. You bend down, you twist to the side, you reach for things.
Oh yeah, like grabbing something off the passenger seat in the car.
Exactly. And functional core exercises, they try to mimic those natural movements we do every day.
So it's not just about strengthening our core. It's about training it to work the way it's actually supposed to.
Now you're getting it. It's like, think about the difference between, lifting weights in a gym.
Okay.
Versus actually having to, move furniture around your house.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Right. When you're moving furniture, you're engaging your core in this dynamic way. You're using those muscles in a way that's more true to how they actually function.
And that's what functional core exercises do.
Exactly. It's all connected. And the benefits.
Yeah. Tell me about the benefits.
Well, for starters, if you're an athlete, or even if you just enjoy, the occasional jogger on the park,
Right.
a strong and functional core can seriously up your game.
Really, what kind of improvements are we talking about here?
Think more power, better balance,
Uh-huh.
reduced risk of injury. It
Yeah.
all starts with your core.
That makes sense. But what about for those of us who aren't exactly star athletes?
Well, the good news is the benefits extend far beyond just athletic performance.
Okay, good to hear. I'm all ears.
Remember we were talking about lower back pain
All
earlier?
right, yeah.
Well, a stronger core means you've got better support for your spine, which can make a world of difference in terms of pain management.
So, stronger core, less back pain. I like it.
Exactly. And it's not just about pain relief either.
Really. What else?
Improved posture.
Oh, that's huge.
Huge. It's amazing what good posture can do, not just for how you look, but how you feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, you're likely to find that you've got more energy throughout the day when your core is firing the way it should.
You're selling me on this.
Hmm.
So, let's talk exercises. Where do we even begin?
Well, lucky for you, we have a top 10 list of exercises to get you started.
Perfect. I love a good list.
Yeah,
Were there any on there that stood out to you?
definitely. One that caught my eye was the landmine rotation. It looks pretty challenging. Basically, you've got a barbell anchored at one end, almost like a lever. You lift and rotate the other end.
Sounds intense.
It is, but it's amazing for those obliques, really builds that rotational power we were talking about earlier.
Makes sense. What about any others?
This one might surprise you, but I really like the one-arm farmer's carry.
Oh, the farmer's carry. So I'm guessing it's more challenging than it sounds.
Definitely. It sounds so simple, right? You're just walking with a weight in one hand.
Yeah, like you're carrying groceries or
That's
something.
exactly. But trust me, it's a killer core workout. You're engaging those muscles without even realizing it. It's like sneaking in a workout.
I love it. And it really does mimic those everyday movements we were talking about.
Right. That's the beauty of functional training. It's about making those everyday movements work for you. And speaking of everyday movements, there's one really important aspect of core training that we haven't even talked about yet.
What's that?
Breathing. Believe it or not, your breath can actually play a big role in your core strength.
Breathing. Wow. I
Yeah.
got to be honest, I never really thought about breathing as part of core training.
I know, right? It's one of those things we kind of take for granted.
Totally. Yeah. But it makes sense when you think about it. Like we were just talking about the diaphragm and how it's a major player in core stability.
Exactly. It's all connected.
So are you telling me that just by paying attention to my breath, I'm actually working my core?
In a way, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I need to hear more about this.
Well, when you really think about it, your diaphragm is a muscle, just like any other muscle in your body. And just like any other muscle, it can be strengthened and trained.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the good news is, improving your breathing, it's actually a pretty simple thing to incorporate into your daily routine.
Perfect. I love when something is simple and effective.
Me too.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here today. We've talked about what the core actually is, why it's so important, all those functional exercises we can do to build strength and stability.
It's been a good deep dive.
It really has. But I'm curious, when we're doing these exercises, when we're really challenging our core, what's actually happening inside our bodies?
Ooh, good question.
Like, how does all of this translate to the benefits we've been talking about?
Well, the human body is amazing, right? When you consistently challenge your muscles, your core muscles in this case, with these functional exercises, your body actually starts to adapt in some pretty incredible ways.
Okay, like what? Give me the science.
So, one of the things that happens is something called increased muscle fiber recruitment.
Increased muscle fiber recruitment. So what does that mean exactly?
Basically, it means your body gets better at using the muscle fibers it already has. So you can generate more force, more power with the same amount of effort.
So it's like our bodies are getting more efficient.
Exactly. You're working smarter, not harder.
I like it.
And it's not just about strength. When you improve muscle activation like this, it also enhances your neuromuscular control, which is basically how well your brain and muscles communicate with each other.
Oh, interesting.
Right, so that enhanced communication, it translates to smoother, more coordinated movements, and that means you're less likely to have those little mishaps that can lead to injuries.
So, stronger core, better communication between brain and body, less chance of injury. I'm seeing a theme here.
Right, it's all connected.
This is fascinating. What else happens when we train our core?
Well, think about the connective tissues that support your spine. Those actually get stronger too, which is huge for injury prevention.
That makes sense.
Right. So, stronger connective tissues, better force transfer, less strain on your back. It all adds up.
It's amazing how much is going on beneath the surface.
I know, it's easy to just focus on like doing the exercises and hoping for the best, but when you really understand what's happening inside your body, it makes you appreciate the whole process even more.
It really does. This whole deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about how to train my core more effectively, but also about why it's so important for, like, my overall health and well-being.
That's what we like to hear.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners out there as they embark on their own core strengthening journey?
Oh, absolutely. Remember, consistency is key.
Hear, hear.
Find those exercises you enjoy, the ones that fit into your life, and make them a regular part of your routine. Don't go too crazy, too fast.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly. And listen to your body. Rest and recovery are just as important as the workouts themselves.
Couldn't agree more. Expert speaker, thank you so much for this incredibly insightful conversation. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
And to all of you listening, remember, a strong core is about so much more than just how your stomach looks. It's about moving better, feeling better, and just living your best life. That's it for us this week, folks. Until next time, stay strong.